Okay, so a few things happen. First of all, if you haven't seen Dane's video on the engineer weapons tier list, I highly suggest you go check that out. This is the reason why I'm going to be doing this. I don't know if I'm going to do this for other class. I just figured it'd be fun to rank all of Scout's weapons and tell them why I put them in that certain area. But yeah, be sure to check out Dane's video. He went into depth on the engineer weapons. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And without further ado, let's get into it. So D tier is well, I'm going to be ranking all of the Scout weapons from from worst to best, based on tiers. So, with S meaning the best and D meaning the worst, we're going to start with the lowest and work our way up. So, and also, I should have mentioned probably that I actually got a new mic. It's a Blue Yeti. It's very, very nice. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out because it's like my first time actually recording with it, but hopefully it turns out fine. Anyway, so we'll start with D tier, and you already know my opinions on the, where is it? Where'd it go? The backscatter. Okay, so let me explain what D tier is. D tier is, you might as well just, like, there's so many better options. Literally anything else would be better. And sadly, the backscatter is just that weapon, where you're basically stuck with a downgrade unless you're hitting your enemies from behind. Which is a cool concept, I will admit, but they need to add some other upside, or make its downside not as intense. Like, maybe remove the accuracy, and, like, add a different downside, like, maybe like, minus damage, or minus firing speed, or something. Just, you can't make the downside that harsh, and only give it a minor upside of mini critting from behind. So yeah, backscatter's not a good weapon at all. Joining it in D tier is the Candy Cane. Now, the thing is, this isn't actually, like, it's upside and downside kind of mismatched with each other, but it does nothing really to help you. It gives you a small health kit on kill, and it's just a bad version of some other weapons that we'll get into later that also deal with health. The problem is, it lets you be one-shot by soldiers in demos, and that's just one-shotting on Scout. Like, you want to be able to at least take a hit from a soldier or demo. And then again, this is the direct hit, which is the most unfair weapon towards Scouts. Oh, they have to aim at the direct hit at least, but, you know. The extra explosive damage does not make the health kit you get on kill worth it. The one, like, its main upside is just fighting pyros, you won't die to afterburn. Whoopee. Also joining it, oh my god, there's a dog outside, I don't know if you can hear that. Also joining it, those in D tier, is the Sandman. Oh, the Sandman used to be king of Scout melees, and then they made the slow, then they made the stun into a slow, and it's just horrible now. The 15 health decrease is just too major of a downside for a very minor upside. 15 damage isn't bad, but the ability to slow, and oh no, I slow them longer and more effectively at a distance. Those things are hard to hit. Plus they can be reflected, so that's kind of sucks. And the only secondary that I will put into the bottom tier is the Flying Guillotine. Same case for the Sandman, except it has a good recharge time. It's just less reliable than the pistol, and you don't always have a secondary to deal close damage. It's actually not that bad if you can aim it, but it's just worse than any other option, really. And then we move on to C tier, where it's respectable if you use it. There's better options, but, you know, they're still usable. These weapons down here, I don't think they're usable at all, really. They're not usable by people taking the game seriously. Now, I was originally going to put the baby faces down in D tier, but then I realized that people, like, they're giving up Scout's double jump for another way to dodge on the ground. It'll make you easier to hit, yeah, but if you can use baby faces effectively, I've seen people use it. Just, it's got that clip size decrease that makes it really bad. Like, if it had still, like, the regular clip size, and you take just one lick of damage and you lose all your boost, and then you're slower than a regular Scout. The one place where it does shine is Scout 1v1s, because you never double jump in those. I've learned that. But the boost is just not a big enough a mechanic, and it's just too easy to lose. Up next is the... I guess I'll put the stock bat down here as well. There's not really much to stay out. The stock bat, it's a stock melee. It does 35 damage, and it swings faster than other stock melees, but you aren't going to be using your stock melee for... You aren't going to be using your melee to actually be killing people with, unless it's... unless it's the fish and you're just memeing around, you know. What else should be in C tier? I'll put the sun on a stick down in D tier. However, I'm gonna put it slightly it would be slightly above the bat, because at least it has a use. Taking less damage from fire while it's active, which is actually, like, it's not that big of a deal, but it doesn't have that big of a downside and a damage penalty, which is basically means nothing. And who knows, maybe someday you'll actually get a crit on a burning player. I don't know, it doesn't happen that often, but it's still slightly better than the stock bat. Good change. I mean, like, good downside for mediocre upsides. Not bad. Not a bad weapon, but you should better be using other stuff. Oh, the winger. The winger. The worst of the pistols, in my opinion. I mean, it's good if you can aim with it. It has that damage bonus, but the main place where it shines is the extra jump height, which is... if you want to use extra jump height, we're going to get into some other weapons that are better for just jumping in general. And it just has the clip size that absolutely kills it. The clip size decrease that puts it only 5 bullets in a chamber. And the last weapon in C tier will be the bonk. Bonk is useful. You can use it to run back towards your team if you like get stuck behind enemy lines or something. But overall, it's not actually that good. It's just drink it to become invulnerable, but you can't shoot. All you can do is taunt kill. It can be paired with like the atomizer or Sandman to get a taunt kill, or the atomizer you still get triple jump while active, so that's really good. Now moving up to B tier. B tier is you know, they're good. They're solid weapons. I don't think they need changing, but they could still be better. They're solid, but they can be better. They don't need changing though to be used. And here I'll have to put the stock pistol. Very reliable. Sorry if you hear my chair is super loud. Stock pistol, very reliable. Good for, like, good combo tool for finishing off damage you do your scattergun. Your primary. Shortstop. It's a good weapon. I made a video on it in the weapon series, so check that out. The shove is basically useless, and I miss its old mechanic of getting more health. It reminds me of the back scratcher. Fan of War. It's not bad when used effectively, like to get targets. Just don't like run at them trying to kill them with the fan. Like hit them once and then back off with some strikes with your primary or secondary. Here. Also the Rap Assassin. Not a bad melee at all, actually. People give it crap, but when you use them when you use a scout melee to actually attack, and if you can aim them, that's a ranged. It's a flying guillotine. Without like the extra, well, it gets a bleed effect, without having to waste a secondary spot for it. Alright, next up to A tier, where it's, this is the stuff that's really good. Well, not like super good. But it's not the best of the best, but it's good. Up here we have Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol, Criticola, Force of Nature, and the Boston Basher. You can go over all of these. The Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol is plain as you can see. The only downside it has is 3 less bullets in the clip, and it just has the higher DPS than the stock pistol. It's essentially a direct upgrade, and I don't really get why. It has faster firing speed, and you gain the health on kill. It's a mediocre upsides, but it still has higher DPS. Criticola is risk reward. Mini crits for taking your own mini crits. Force of Nature, it's hard to get a kill with, but if you can follow it up with like some well-aimed pistol shots, the knockback mechanic basically means nothing. And it's also one of the mobility things that I was talking about when I was dissing the Winger earlier. The Winger's not a bad weapon, it's just there are other better mobility options, like the Force of Nature. Boston Basher is good in competitive, but not so great in pubs, because it allows you to build with your medic. This guy, I don't know, I just really I want to put this high up, because I know this is very good in competitive. Force of Nature has faster firing speed as well. It's a good weapon, but definitely the top 3. S tier? Of course I gotta put my loadout in S tier. I mean, I don't know. The Soda Popper is just basically a very good Soda Popper. Has higher DPS with these than the stock Scattergun. I'd say they're almost equals at this point. They're both really good. The height mechanic allows you to easily dodge stuff midair, gives you a ton of jumps. Faster firing and reload speed, giving you higher DPS than the stock Scattergun. Just really good. Atomizer, triple jumps are insane, especially just being free mobility. And it essentially has only a deploy speed downside, because it has the mini crits while midair. And that makes the damage penalty mean nothing. Mad Milk is just too powerful of an effect. Like, honestly, if there's one weapon in the game that needs to be nerfed on Scout, it's the Mad Milk. Health on kill, like, health on hit, gaining 60% of the damage you deal back in health. It's just extremely powerful. Throwing it on a group makes it significantly easier for your team to kill. And when pairing with like a heavy or a pyro, something that can easily deal lots of damage quickly, it just makes them basically unkillable without like a backstab or a quick headshot. As long as they're dealing consistent damage on milked enemies. Stock Scattergun is just the plain definition of reliable. It's just really, really good. Like it's the only Scout primary with a 6-bullet clip. Sure, it doesn't have some fancy reload mechanic, but that doesn't matter. It's a stock Scattergun. It deals good damage up close. And it benefits Scout's speed and mobility without just ruining with like the Force of Nature's knockback. The babyface is not allowing you to double jump. The backfire is just horribleness. Even the short stops, extra air blast, which can sometimes be a downside, can sometimes be an upside. These two, the Soda Popper and the stock Scattergun, are just really, really good. Honestly, I say they're equals. Because they really are. The Soda Popper requires, like, a lot more precision in aiming, and the Scattergun requires you to just be better at dodging so you can get more shots off. And also, the stock Scattergun and the Mad Milk can be used to take out a heavy. Who's like I've taken out heavies with this thing. It's crazy. Just splash them with the Mad Milk and constantly run circles around them so they land like a few of their shots, and it's just, no matter how fast they're dealing damage to you, they just can't kill you because you're just healing off of them as long as you're landing meat shots every time. Mad Milk and any Scattergun is insane. But yeah, that's my tier list. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to probably have to turn down the volume in this. I'm probably going to be really loud. I don't know how this microphone's going to be picking up my voice, and I just see Audacity over there just flashing blue. Who knows, maybe that's a good thing or not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm Goggles. I'll see y'all next time. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Dane's video. I'll have it linked below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.